everyone. Happy Sunday. This will actually probably go up Monday, so happy Monday as well. I hope you had a lovely weekend, and I'm here with just a quick share of a fun project that I have been working on just in bits and pieces over the past week and thought I would share it with you. I have obviously jumped on the envelope style no-sew journal that Nazi shared on her channel at Amity Bloom. And there's been so many fun versions of this, so I had to give it a try. Super fun and easy, and I just love how it turned out. I was going to do a little quick measurement for you. It's about 5¼ by 6-ish. We'll just call it that. And so anyway, let's just jump right in. I used a various kits of Amity Blooms, and I'll have those all listed below. There's definitely a little bit of a fairy butterfly theme going on, but I just pulled some of my favorite papers of hers and just kind of threw them all together. So anyway, enjoy. So I have just this crinkle seam binding wrapped around, and this is a little topper that I built with some of the pieces. It's a little fussy cut butterfly girl, and I did a little bit of a two-dimensional look there, and then backed it with some of the other little pieces. And then I have a little bit of a mirror on the back and just some extra paper, but I just love how it turned out, and she just kind of sits on top here. I was going to clip it down, but I just couldn't really figure out where I wanted her to clip, and so honestly, it's sort of nice to have a little free. Okay, sorry about that. I had a phone call, my husband. Anyway, so she can go anywhere in the journal. So I used some of this beautiful, I don't even know what it is. I guess it's lace or crochet, but I have like another 7 or 8 inch piece of it, and I just love it, and I thought it was perfect for the binding, and it's kind of fun. You can still sort of see the folded book paper envelopes through it, which I thought was fun. And then for this flap here, I added some beautiful lace trim from the Lavish Laces, and I thought that just looked gorgeous. And then I popped down some of the Amity Washi. My soul is a garden of wildflowers, and pansies are one of my favorite of all time flowers, and so I just did a little fussy cut right there. So in this front part, I have a little pocket, and just tucked in a little butterfly and a little journaling card, and then this fun postcard, and I backed it with some of the papers that come with this kit, and I will have, like I said, everything listed below so you know where to look. So those just pop in here, and then we open to our first page, and I kind of followed her style of doing a flap and then a single page and then a flap, alternating. So here we have a little tuck spot, and I did use a lot of her little fussy cut butterflies because they're just so gorgeous. And this is one of her envelopes, and then I popped in a beautiful butterfly in here as well. And this is a pretty good sized envelope, and so more could totally be tucked in there. And then here I used a full sheet of paper and then just trimmed the edge and folded it on top to create another envelope opening, little pocket. And this gorgeous girl goes in here, and more could actually fit in here as well. You just have to make sure you know where your folds are so you don't make your card too big or stuff it too full, because this is pretty kind of a little bit tight. I still have a little bit of this gorgeous velvet trim. This is from the Lavish Laces, and then I just collaged a little fun stuff down on the bottom here. So this is a full page spread, so no flap. And I created a little up tuck here with some of washi tape and one of the envelopes from the Vintage Post is the kit that I used mostly for the envelope stuff. And then this is from Le Petit Jardin, and just backed it with some of the blue French document paper and a little sentiment down on the bottom. So fun. And then here, this is from the Her Wings kit. It's so gorgeous. And I left the center part here kind of open and just sort of scrappy because I just really love seeing the book page in between. The book pages that I used are from Madame Bovary. I have a very vintage copy of that, and it had just the perfect size book pages. So I just cut the spine off, and now I can make endless no-sew envelope book page journals, probably for the rest of my life. It's a pretty thick book. This is from the Le Petit Jardin, and I just tucked that in for a little journaling card. Here, I actually, when I was working on another project, I had this piece that it tore, and so I just kind of slapdashed down some of my age tape, and I actually kind of like the effect. So I was able to save that beautiful paper, and this is getting down to the last 2 or 3 inches of my ruffle dot trim. Okay, so here's another flap, and I did another butterfly. So beautiful. And this is a pretty generous flap, so you could definitely tuck more in there. And this is just so pretty. And I just backed it with, this is from the Her Wings kit as well. And I love the little swallows peeking out there. Pretty sure this is from the Her Wings kit also, and I just clipped her on. She's just a nice little journaling card and some vintage lace from the Lavish Laces. And I love that it's kind of sheer, super pretty. And this is just a little collage script on the bottom. Here, this is part of the Jardin kit, as is this, I believe. Or no, that's actually not true. This is from one of the Graceful kits, because it has these cool sort of off-center cut pieces, and I just left it intact like that rather than squaring it off. And then a little pansy pocket here with some goodies tucked inside. This fun little image. Beautiful people leaning against a tree. And then this is so sweet. And then I just backed it with some of the script page. And then this is a little collage piece from one of the offcuts. Here we have another fun little tuck spot, and I just did this little sort of interactive floral for the cover there instead of a butterfly this time. And then this is from the Her Wings kit, and I added some of this gorgeous sparkly netting. So pretty. I love this. This image is just so cool. Oh, and this paper here is so beautiful. I love this script. It's from the Blue French Documents kit. This is one of the vintage post papers. I had this gorgeous trim. This is from Fiber Infusions, and I love just the little touch of lavender on that. And then I have this tiny little postcard and a little sentiment inside about fairies. And I think I backed it with some of the blue ledger paper. So cute. Love that. I will tuck that, excuse me, tuck that in later because that clip's a little bit tight. And then here, just to do a little collaging, there's the Le Petit Jardin and these beautiful blue flowers. I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are. They kind of look like irises to me, but I'm not exactly sure. So I have a little tiny tuck here and a little butterfly journaling card. And then this is another pocket, and I have this little postcard, sort of like a faux envelope that goes in here. And then we have the back cover, and there's more of that gorgeous blue script. So not a massive journal, but definitely room to stuff a little bit more in and add your own photos and fun little sentiments. And I just had such a blast making this. So thank you, Miss Nazi, for creating such gorgeous digitals for us to play with. And I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. And I really appreciate you hanging around with me today. Talk to you soon, and I will see you later. Bye.